When it comes to the question of God's having created us or not, I think that's an interesting one in terms of Buddhism in a historical sense, because Buddhism didn't have the image of a creator God at all. It's funny that when you read the early Buddhist scriptures, when they're talking about that idea of a creator God, they have this kind of cosmology in which the universe is created, sustains itself for a certain amount of time, and then collapses back in on itself. And when the universe collapses back in on itself, everything dies. And then when it's coming to another universal cycle, one being is always the first one to be born. And that being, according to Buddhist cosmology, thinks of itself as God. And when other beings who are also destroyed in the last round of universal creation and destruction are born, that one being, the firstborn, starts to think that he or she, because there's no gender anyway, he starts to think that he created those beings, when really he didn't. They're just the other beings who were alive in the last round of universal creation. So when Buddha was confronted with this idea of God, which kind of existed in India at the time, he said that God was a kind of a foolish thing. That he didn't create anything. It was just the workings of cause and effect. But in a sense, God is cause and effect. So there isn't really a separation, and we are cause and effect. So all of us are God, and all of us are the creators of the entire universe, whether we are aware of it or not. We are constantly creating the universe in which we live, which is a weird thing to think about, because a lot of people think, oh, that means you're God. Well, yeah, it means you're God, but it also means the guy sitting next to you on the bus is also God. So it's not something that exists in one single person or entity. Everything is God. So the idea of I would say, yes, God created the universe, but then again, I created the universe, and you created the universe, and George Bush created the universe, and everybody created the universe. Rush Limbaugh created the universe, everything. It doesn't matter. It's all interconnected in such a way, so intimately, that you can't even separate it out and say, okay, this guy created the universe, where the other ones of us just live in it. We're all involved in the creation.